journey 8 decades in the making, and a family that never lost hope one day John Heffernan would come home. The first lieutenant received a hero's welcome over the weekend, but from a generation he never knew. You see, John Heffernan Junior's B-25G bomber was shot down over Burma in 1944, and his remains were never found. Until now, nearly 80 years later, he's been buried in the Diocese of Brooklyn. Andrew McVeigh never met his Uncle Jack, but today, he buried him.
Throughout my life, he was a presence in my family without being physically there.
John Joseph Heffernan Jr. was considered a hero long before he enlisted in the Army Air Corps in 1942. An altar boy who graduated St. John's University at the top of his class. He had dreams of being a doctor if he survived the war. Andrew and his wife Amy received Jack's remains, a few of his teeth, skull fragments, and a shoulder bone at Newark Airport. He's Jack's only family, and he's standing by his side during his last and final mission.
I feel that I owe this. You know, I just feel a very strong debt that I have to do this. It's an obligation on my part, and it's something that I have to do.
Before he was buried next to his mother in St. John's Cemetery in Middle Village, he was buried beneath 10 feet of mud in a peanut field in Myanmar, where his B-25G bomber was shot down over Burma on February 22, 1944. He remained for a lifetime.
Now, this was a real scar. The degree of loss that the family felt over this guy is just incredible.
In the years after the war, Jack's mom, Mary, sent these letters to the Pentagon, to Congress, even to the Bishop of Mandalay.
It's my very fervent prayer.
Begging someone, anyone, to look for her son.
She would say, you know, well, you know, at the time it was MIA, well, I'm going to see him, you know, I'm going to see him again. So there's an aspect of reuniting.
Without remains, a funeral and burial weren't possible.
In the waters of baptism, John died with Christ and rose with him to new life.
Jack was escorted in a flag-draped casket over the George Washington Bridge to the Diocese of Brooklyn. When given the option between burying Jack in Arlington or next to his mother in Queens, Andrew says there was no clearer choice.
The loss created such a hole in the family that when given the opportunity to fill the hole, it wasn't even close.
Jack was posthumously awarded a Purple Heart. His life and his sacrifice honored at last.
The Gospel of St. John, it's chapter 15, verse 13, says, "Greater love hath no man than this, that he lay down his life for his friends." He was defending his family, he was defending his friends, he was defending his neighbors, and he was defending his country.
He's back where his life began, and with his mother, who never gave up on finding her son. Jack is home. There were 6 other men on that bomber with Jack Heffernan, but none of their remains have ever been found. The military has promised it won't stop looking for them, or the 80,000 other soldiers whose remains are still missing, lost to different battlefields all over the world. Andrew says he prays those families can one day have the peace and closure he has now.
Hi, I'm Christine Persichetti, anchor of Currents News. If you like what you saw, please hit the like button on this video. And if you want to see more content just like it, subscribe and click on the bell for notifications. Thanks for watching, because we are putting your faith in the news.